Welcome back to the Old Photo Vault channel. 1. The Unseen Guest. Victoria, Australia, 2010s. I took this photo while helping my ex-partner at the childcare center where she worked. It was just the kids, laughter, and dinner, nothing strange at all. Later, when she looked through the photos, she noticed something standing behind one of the children in the corner. I swear there was no one there when the picture was taken, but the shadow in the frame looks too human to ignore. I've been to that place after hours before and sometimes heard whispers and what sounded like crying babies. I always brushed it off as pipes or wind, but now I'm not so sure. Every time I see that photo, it feels like the room still remembers something we can't see or shouldn't. 2. The Reflection in the Ruins. Rural property, Australia, 2010s. A few years ago, I took this picture in an abandoned house on my stepdad's land. He was pulling bullets out of the wall, and I just wanted to capture the eerie calm of the place. Nothing seemed strange until I looked closer later that night. In the reflection of the glass, two faces appear, one sharp, one ghostly pale, and neither of them were with us that day. I remember how cold that house felt, even with the afternoon sun coming in. Every time I walked back inside after that, it was like the air didn't want me there. The photo still gives me chills. It feels like I caught a glimpse of something that had been waiting a long time to be seen. 3. The Watcher in the Doorway. Ohio, USA, 1976. This photo was given to us by my husband's mom. She said it was taken in 1976, just an ordinary night, her holding her child for a quick snapshot. But behind them, in the dark doorway, a face appears. No one remembers anyone standing there, and that doorway was empty when the picture was taken. The longer you look, the more real it feels, like the face is aware of being seen. She kept the photo hidden for decades, unsure of what to do with it. When I first saw it, my stomach turned. I couldn't look away. It feels like whoever was in that doorway wasn't just caught by the camera, they were waiting for it. 4. The Smoke on the Porch. Pennsylvania, USA, 1990s. I took this photo on the porch of the house where I grew up. My 3 golden retrievers were playing around, and it was just another lazy afternoon. But when the photo came back from the film lab, I saw that faint column of mist rising, right where someone had taken their life years earlier. I remember feeling a sudden cold when I took that shot, though I didn't think much of it then. We'd always joked that the porch was haunted, but seeing that shape, I stopped laughing. It looked like a figure, half-formed, as if stepping out of the air itself. Even now, when I look at that picture, it feels like that spirit still lingers, calm, quiet, and watching. 5. The Stranger on the Porch. Kentucky, USA, 1990s. I've always been fascinated by the paranormal, though I never had any real proof until my brother showed me this photo. It was taken years ago during a family gathering at our old cabin. Just everyone sitting around laughing, nothing unusual at all. But when the photo was developed, there was one more person in it than anyone remembered. Standing near the edge of the porch, half in shadow, was a figure none of us could recognize. My brother swears no stranger was there that day, and everyone who was present says the same. We tried to find a logical answer, a trick of the light, a camera glitch, but nothing fit. Even now, every time I look at that photo, I feel like that stranger was never really captured by accident, but wanted to be seen. 6. The Shadow Above the Fireplace, United States. Early 2000s. I first saw this picture on one of those early ghost photo websites back in the early 2000s. It showed what looked like a normal living room, cozy, bright, completely ordinary, until you notice the shape above the fireplace. A dark, human-like figure seems to crawl across the ceiling, reaching out toward the mirror. The reflection doesn't match what's in front of it, as if something else was moving just behind the glass. Back then, no one could prove whether it was real or edited. But the image spread everywhere. Even now, decades later, it's burned into my mind. A frozen moment when something from the dark side of the room seemed to come alive. 7. The Boy in the Slush Machine. Liverpool, England, 2020s. I took this photo during a coach tour at Albert Docks in Liverpool. Just another shot of the colorful food stalls I passed by. Nothing seemed unusual until I reviewed the pictures a week later while editing. Inside the clear dome of a slush machine, I saw the reflection of a young boy, pale, still and watching. There had been no one there when I took the photo, and the more I looked, the less it felt like a trick of the light. His clothing seemed old, like something from another century, worn by the dock workers' children from long ago. I kept the raw file untouched, proof that I hadn't altered a thing. Every time I open it, I get that same chill. As if that boy, lost to time, had been waiting for someone to finally see him again. 8. The Woman in the Morgue. Louisville, Kentucky, 2014. During our trip to Louisville, my wife and I decided to join the ghost tour at Waverly Hills, a place I'd always wanted to see. The tour started in daylight, and everything felt calm until we reached the morgue after the group and guide left. My wife stayed behind to take one last photo while I waited just outside the door. When we got home, I went through the pictures, lightening a few as they'd suggested. And that's when I saw her. In the center of the morgue, faint but undeniable, stood a woman with short bangs and a grin that didn't belong to the living. Behind her, faint outlines of other faces seemed to gather in the shadows. I remember throwing my headphones off in pure shock. Everyone who's seen it says the same thing. It's not a trick of light. Even now, I can't forget that look. Like she'd been waiting in the dark all along, watching us leave. 9. The Extra Face in the Woods. Chile, 2010s. A friend sent me this photo of his hiking group taken deep in the Chilean countryside. It looks like a cheerful moment. Everyone's smiling, bundled in warm clothes, posing for a quick selfie before the trail. But when you look closer, behind them among the trees, there's another face. It's pale, blurred, and staring directly at the camera, though no one remembers seeing anyone there. My friend swears the path behind them was empty, and no one from the group matched that face. The expression is strange, calm but watching, as if aware of being caught between moments. Even now, I can't look at the photo without feeling that the woods were holding one more soul that day, one that didn't walk out with them. 10. The Figure Beside My Grandmother. Eastern Europe, 1930s. This photo has been in my family for generations. My grandmother, as a small child, standing solemnly by a door with a framed picture in her hands. For years, I never noticed anything unusual until I looked closely at the shadow beside her. It isn't just darkness. It's shaped like a person, tall and faint, standing just behind her in the light from the window. There was no one else in the room when the picture was taken, at least according to family stories. Some say it's just a long exposure or an old camera flaw, but something about it feels heavier than that. The way the figure seems to lean toward her, almost protectively, sends a chill down my spine. Every time I see this photo, I can't help but wonder if my grandmother wasn't alone that day after all. 11. The Photograph That Wouldn't Rest. United States, late 1800s. Found in 2021. I found this old family portrait from the late 1800s in an antique shop a few years ago. It felt powerful, almost alive, with its faded faces staring through time. so I bought it and displayed it proudly on my shelf. Nothing strange happened until I took it down for a few days while rearranging my room. That night, my bed began to shake, violently, enough to break 2 of its springs. The next day, my sister said her bed shook too, and even my mom felt it. When I put the photograph back up, the shaking stopped. My sister once said she saw a Victorian woman standing at the end of her bed who looked just like one of the women in the picture. I'd even contacted a spirit years earlier through a Ouija board who matched one of the little girls in the photo. Maybe it's all coincidence. But since then, I make sure the photograph stays uncovered, front and center. Whatever energy is in that frame, it seems to want to be seen. 12. The Girl on the Stairs, England, 1901. When my parents moved into their old house, this framed photograph was waiting for them, left behind by the previous owners. It shows the grand staircase as it once was, lit by an oil lamp and dressed with flowers on the table below. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't the architecture. It was the faint, almost transparent figure of a young girl standing halfway up the steps. Her outline seems blurred, her face indistinct, as if she was caught between moments or moving through another time. The former owners claimed the picture dated back to 1901, and no one knows who the child was. Whether it was a trick of motion or something less explainable, there's something hauntingly calm in her presence, even now. That photograph hangs quietly on the wall, and every creak of the staircase makes us wonder if she ever really left. 13. The Mist in the Jailhouse. Charleston, South Carolina, 2010s. I took this picture during a late-night tour of the old Charleston jail, a place known for its dark history and restless energy. The room was empty, filled only with scattered chairs and the echo of our footsteps. When my camera flash went off, it caught a strange mist swirling near the tables, faint but unmistakably shaped like a figure. No one was smoking, and the air was still. Yet that haze seemed to move with purpose, almost watching. The guide told us that many prisoners never left these walls, their stories carved into the silence. Standing there, I felt a sudden heaviness, like the room itself was breathing. Looking back at this photo still makes my skin crawl, as if that spirit had followed me home in the frame. 14. The Phantom on the Dust Road, Arizona Territory, USA, 1880s. This photo of an old western town was said to have been taken sometime in the 1880s, showing the quiet main street lined with saloons and wooden storefronts. At first glance, it looks like any historic frontier photograph. But look closer at the center of the road. There, faint and translucent, stands the shape of a man, blurred yet unmistakably upright among the empty street. Locals claim that no one was visible when the picture was taken, and the photographer himself swore he was alone. Some believe it's the lingering image of a gunslinger who met his end right there in a duel long forgotten. Others say it's just a trick of old film and dust. But as the years pass, the phantom figure remains, staring down the road of a town that time, and perhaps he, refused to leave. 15. The Spirits in the Pews, England, early 1900s. I found this old photograph while going through a box of forgotten prints at a local market. It shows the interior of an empty church, its rows of wooden pews bathed in pale morning light. At first, it seems ordinary, until you notice the faint, misty shapes seated among the benches. They look like figures, almost human, caught mid-prayer or watching quietly from another world. No one knows who took the picture or what church it belonged to, but the stillness in the air feels sacred and heavy. The more I stare, the more I sense that whoever they were, they never truly left this place of worship. It's as if their faith anchored them here. bound forever in the silence between the living and the divine. 16. The hand that shouldn't be there. United States, 1960s. This photograph looks like a simple gathering. Two couples dressed for an evening out, frozen in a moment of mid-century elegance. But look closer at the woman in the floral dress. A hand rests gently on her arm, pale and misplaced, belonging to no one in the frame. Everyone in the photo has both hands visible, and yet that ghostly grip remains. The story goes that this picture was found among old family albums, with no one able to recall who took it or why. Some say it's a double exposure, others swear it's the touch of a spirit caught in the flash. Whatever the truth, that unseen presence lingers, a reminder that sometimes the past insists on being part of the picture. 17. The shadow by the elevator. Mexico, 2000s. This picture was taken late one night in a hospital corridor after a patient had reportedly passed away on the floor above. The group of people in the image seem unaware, focused on a conversation near the elevator doors, yet behind them, near the dimly lit lift, a dark, human-shaped shadow stands apart. Tall, still, and watching. No one noticed it at the time, and no one was standing there when the picture was taken. The staff later said that elevator was out of service that night. Yet it opened on its own not long after this photo was snapped. Some believe it was the patient's spirit lingering for one last ride to nowhere. Others say hospitals simply remember, and sometimes they answer back. 18. The little girl in the doorway. Detroit, Michigan, 1990s. This photograph was taken in the ruins of an abandoned school slated for demolition, long after its last class had ended. The explorer who took it said the air inside was thick and silent, the kind of stillness that makes every sound echo. When he developed the film, he noticed a small figure standing in the dark doorway. A little girl in an old-fashioned dress, her face pale and expressionless. There had been no one else in the building that day, and the hallways were sealed off. Locals later claimed a young student had died there in a fire decades earlier. Whether it's her spirit or just a trick of the dim light, that lonely figure remains fixed in the frame, as if still waiting for class to begin. 19. The girl with no legs. Kaposfjord, Hungary, 1940s. This photo was taken on a quiet afternoon near the road to Kaposfjord, meant to capture nothing more than a cheerful memory. The woman in front smiles proudly beneath the street sign, unaware of what stands behind her. In the background, a young girl appears. Dressed in white, her figure clear except for one impossible detail. She has no legs. The ground beneath her is visible, untouched, as if she were floating above it. No one present that day remembered seeing any child nearby, and the photographer swore there were only the two of them. Whether it's a trick of light or something far older, the girl remains frozen mid-step, eternally walking where no feet should tread. 20. The face behind the lens. Oregon, USA, 2000s. I took this photo in a cabin during a family getaway, just trying to capture a mirror shot for fun. I was alone in the room, or at least I thought I was. When I looked at the picture later, I froze. Behind me, half hidden and leaning from my shoulder, was a pale face peering over mine. You can see its eyes, cold, hollow, and too close. There had been no one standing behind me when I took the photo, and the reflection shows no sign of movement or blur. The cabin had always felt strange, quiet, in a way that didn't feel empty. That night, I slept with the lights on. Every time I look at that photo now, I can almost feel that unseen breath just over my shoulder, waiting for me to turn around. And that's it for today's journey into the most chilling moments ever captured on camera. Which photo gave you the strongest feeling? Curiosity, sadness, or pure goosebumps? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoy stories like these, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next haunting collection. Every picture has a story, and sometimes the story stares right back at you.